Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about all things budgeting because being a student is really expensive and I'm very much aware of that, but given the fact that I've been through first year and I've also made some mistakes along the way, I thought I would tell you what I would say to fresher me who's also trying to act responsibly with money. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful. Please like and subscribe down below because it really helps me out, or even just engage with this video in any way that you can. Maybe give me your own budgeting tips in the comments. But yeah, let's get right into it. And ignore the fact I don't have a tripod today. I have spontaneously decided to film this. Okay, so first things first. The way to not spend your entire student loan during Freshers Week and be surviving on beans on toast for the rest of uni is to figure out how much money you've got. This can be from savings that you've already got from before uni started, this can be from your student loan, and just try and compile all the money that you have available to you on a simple spreadsheet where it's like your income and then the expenses that you have is your sort of outflow of the spreadsheet. So you need to prioritize food, rent and your bills that you may be paying first, and then whatever's left over from that sum every week or every term, that is essentially going to be your budgeting for spending or for going out. And I know for some people it really worked having a student bank account. Oh my god, there's a wasp, guys. I'm actually gonna cry. Guys, I actually can't handle wasps. That really scared me. Anyways, back to it. I was saying, yeah, for some people, I think setting up a student bank account is really helpful because it helps you kind of have the interest-free overdraft in case, you know, you do run out of money at certain points throughout the year. And there's a lot of like cool perks as well. And I think Santander do like a free rail card, and just research it. There's like a bunch of different ones that you can sign up for. Personally, I actually didn't pick to do that, which maybe, you know, I was missing out on a £300 or whatever, but I have just always been pretty sensible and, like, you know, I use my bank balance with a lot of moderation and I do monitor it quite a lot, so I just never felt the need to have that extra security. But I understand that for some people it just helps you have an ease of mind. And yeah, so if that's you, definitely consider getting student bank accounts, because money does go, and I'm not going to lie to you, student life is really expensive, but you've got this. And just try and not be afraid of looking at your money. I think sometimes we're taught that, you know, like money should be this thing that we fear, but it shouldn't be. Like, it is part of your life and it's part of adulting, is realizing how to handle your finances. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like, don't feel intimidated by it. It's just a learning curve and you're allowed to make mistakes, you know. Like, even if during Freshers Week you spend more than you thought you did, sure, like, that's not what you really ideally want to be doing, but sometimes it's out of your control. So allow yourself to make financial mistakes, but don't let them be repeated, is what I would say. Next up, we're going to talk about a very essential part of uni life, and that's food. And I just briefly mentioned it, but I do think that a lot of students spend a lot of money on takeaways. And don't get me wrong, a 2 a.m. Mackey's when you're on a night out, or, you know, cheeky Domino's using the freshest like codes that they give you is great. Like, I'm not trying to tell you to limit yourself, but don't make it into a habit where that's all you're eating, because even just learning 3 to 4 basic meals now before you go off to university is really going to help you in the long run. And I think it's a skill that shouldn't really be misjudged or, you know, not taken value of, because cooking is actually really important and it saves you a lot of money in the long run. And I will say that my personal like favorite food money hacks, whatever you want to call them, is make sure you're meal prepping. And I'm not talking about making all 5 lunches in one day, because I personally like my food to be a bit fresher, but start eating leftovers or just make a bigger portion for it to be used up the next day. Don't spend as much money on meal deals. Ignore the background, because meal deals are really inflating the prices at the moment, and whilst they can be good value for money, I think you can just as easily make a sandwich by yourself for like half the cost. And even just buy like a bulk of drinks. If you know you love the Pepsi or whatever, just buy like a lot of them from Home Bargains, and then there you go, you've got a meal deal every day, you know. And also just don't be afraid of like reduced food in the aisles. I think for a lot of people they assume that it's just out of date, but like even meat, if you want to go and buy some, and then you can always like freeze it or use it up another time. And I think it's a really smart way of doing it. And also just freeze lots of food, like even bread, vegetables. I think frozen veg and fruit is so much better than fresh ones sometimes, because you genuinely do not realize how fast they go out of date. So yeah, that is what I will say. And maybe just consider like splitting a weekly food shop with one of your friends or your flatmates, because it ends up being like a lot easier if you guys eat the same food and you end up spending a lot less on food waste. And also just keep your freezer stocked up of those frozen pizzas or random things that you just know you'll always like to eat, in case you are feeling lazy one day and you don't want to cook, because that does happen, especially around exam season. But yeah, and I think overall, like, food is something that you need to be conscious of, but don't feel like you have to only be eating beans on toast, pasta every day of your life. Like, switch it up, find a new recipe that you like, and there's loads of good accounts that I love on social media. Or maybe just ask your mum for her famous, I don't know, stuffed peppers recipe, whatever it is. Come prepared and you'll realise that food won't be as much of a struggle as you initially thought it was. Oh, and in terms of food shopping, I know a lot of people like to diss on like M&S, Waitrose, but I do actually find that their produce lasts a lot longer in terms of like fresh fruit, or even their like essentials range tends to be just as good as Aldi and Lidl if you don't have access to that. But just be careful of express shops like Tesco Express or Sainsbury's Local, because the prices are like double sometimes, and that actually shocks me. And also never go food shopping when you're hungry, because you will end up spending about double your budget. So yeah. Okay, and then the next element is going out or social life. And I think it's really important to, you know, go outside of your comfort zone, go out with friends, experience life a bit, because like I said, money shouldn't be an obstacle. Like, you can still budget and have a great time, whether it be that you're joining new societies, which also cost money, by the way. I feel like a lot of people don't tell you that. And yeah, just overall, it can be a really good thing to add to your student life as long as you're managing your financial situation. So for me personally, like, I never drank. Like, I've been sober the whole of first year, which obviously eliminated a lot of alcohol costs for me, besides the odd drink I'd used to get my friend or whatever. And I will say that if you do want to drink alcohol, I know from a lot of my friends, pre-drinking is your best friend. Like, you don't need to be spending £8 on a vodka lemonade when you go out to Disco Spoons or something. Like, just buy a whole bottle of vodka and mix it with squash or mix it with juice, whatever you like, and do it at home, because then you're not only not wasting money, but also you're being a lot safer. And I think spiking does actually still happen, so just be warned about that. And also another note on Freshers Week is don't buy tickets for every single event, because I did that and I truly found that my body couldn't handle going to that many club events. Just think about future you and know your own limits, because Freshers flu is real and it will hit you like a brick, because imagine how many people are interacting all together. But yeah, and obviously say yes more and go out as much as you want. But personally, I actually found throughout the year that I much preferred a pub trip, and don't feel pressured to spend money on things that, you know, don't suit who you are as an individual or don't reflect what you want to do, because you're also there to have your own experience. So just keep that in mind. And also there are a lot of other hidden costs which you maybe aren't considering as a student right now, such as like rail cards, or even like random bits that you need for your kitchen, like, I don't know, you broke a glass and you have to go and get a new one, or textbooks, even though I don't personally believe you need to buy textbooks, like they're always available in the libraries and things. But yeah, there is a whole misconception that like you will just be paying for like your rent, you know, food, that sort of thing, but there will be surprises along the way, or maybe it's your friend's birthday and you've got to get them a gift, that sort of thing. So always have like a little buffer fund. It's basically just a fund which helps you be aware of what like surprise costs can come along the way, and just helps you, you know, navigate that a little bit better as a student. And my favourite budgeting tip of all time is to use student discounts. I cannot stress this enough. The amount of people that are embarrassed to like go up and ask for that 10%, but it really adds up over time. Oh my god. Sorry, getting attacked by insects again. But yeah, so Uni Days, Student Beans, create an account. But even if they're not listed on Student Beans, maybe it's like a local cafe, sometimes they actually do offer it, but they just don't advertise. So just ask, because it's not going to hurt you if they say no, you know. But at least you've saved a little bit of money in the long run. And yeah, you should never be paying full price if you're a student. There's a lot of deals and a lot of websites that can help you get the cheapest price possible, so make sure you utilize it, especially during Black Friday and other, you know, seasonal discounts. So yeah, but I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope it's made you feel a little bit less worried about handling money. If you've got any other questions about budgeting or student life in general, make sure to comment down below or message me on TikTok at ValPassPositivity, and I'll be more than happy to make a video for you. But yeah, good luck, and I hope you enjoy your university experience.